Welcome back to the Wings versus Rings Super Bowl episode. Took a week off, a little Pro Bowl of our own, if you will, and got some rest, and we're ready to deliver some. I'm ready to deliver some high energy, some good questions, and hopefully
Yeah.
something that'll make you think twice about already penciling in the Seahawks as the Super Bowl champions. So, not you.
Mm,
I'm talking to a
mm,
listener here. I know what
mhm,
you're thinking. But
mhm.
as always, I'm Dylan, repping for Philly, even though there's nothing to rep for right now except Cancun. And it's my
Get the
boy.
Sixers. Get the Sixers.
We'll
And
get
I'm
there,
sad that I'm repping for the Pats and the Celtics.
as always. And we're gonna get right into it with the conference championship games that we have yet to discuss on air. On air.
Mm.
Patriots in Denver in a second half blizzard. Drake May, obviously you don't want to hear this, but 86 passing yards, 65 rushing. Made some plays with his legs. He was huge. Well,
He's
his
used to
first.
ice it.
He was huge
Definitely.
making those moments, but I want to start it with are you worried about the offense going into this game? Are you worried?
Oh, yeah. I think any Patriots fan that's not worried is just ultra delusional. I've been saying off air that I'm getting more delusional as time goes on. Like, I'm thinking, wow, we really have the answers for this team. But if anyone's confident that Drake May is going to go and light it up or even be good, it seems like a stretch. I mean, I have faith that he'll turn it around, but I can't be confident based on the 3 games he's played.
All right. So I got a couple of things I really noted about this game, and certain things that I mostly noted because I want to talk to someone who watches this team week in, week out. Obviously, pretty much everybody in the world has for the last 3 weeks, but that doesn't count. You watch the entire regular season, and I do think that your regular season to postseason stories have been different. So I'll get to the point. Travion Henderson only having 3 carries when Ramadre had how many?
To be honest, I've complained about this the entire season. I feel like Ramondre has been more of a consistent player, and Henderson is while he has had these splash plays, just honestly lacks patience and vision in the backfield and just runs into his own lineman. Doesn't follow the blocks correctly. He's looking for the big play every time, and when it's there, it's electric. It's just not there that often, and especially in a playoff game. And Mondre, he's saved us on multiple occasions. Like in that Denver game in particular, like we're on the goal line, like the first play before Drake May runs it in, uh, like it's a botch snap, and Mondre has to like palm it to like save it from being a
That
20
was
yard
an
fumble.
incredible save on his part.
Like that's something I know I can't say that Henderson would do that, but like that's something that's a veteran like understanding the moment where I gotta be what's going on, like in my opinion. And then there was a lot of Zach Allen, like that big 30-yard scramble from Drake made to set up the field goal. Like Montre takes Zach Allen in the hole one on one and blocks him. Like his pass blocking has been significantly better. Vision has been significantly better. Catching, I mean, just everything. Honestly, Mondre has been he's stepped up since the regular season, and Henderson has become worse. But like I've told you this entire year, and I know it's tough to express that to random people on a podcast, but he, I've been saying that Henderson has frustrated me because he is so talented, but his vision is so poor. It makes him a net negative a lot of the time.
Can validate this is true. So another one of my concerns that I did want to point out to you, obviously you know that this happened, but your kicker, I'm gonna need you to say the name so I don't butcher it.
Poor Gallus.
Okay, I thought so, but part of me wanted to make the G silent, like Borealis.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was 1 for 3 on kicking field goals. Obviously, snow elements, I would assume, played a major role in that. Are you worried about him in the big game, or are we just chalking it up to the weather?
Well, one of them was a 63 yarder as well, so it's like, all right, how often do I expect someone to make that? And then the other one, yeah, the elements were brutal, but he, as the season's gone on, I've been way more confident in him. I'm pretty sure he missed his very first kick of the year. Um, made me that definitely made me think, oh man, we whiffed again. We got another bum special teams player. Like, why are we going with the rookie? Like, we should have went with the veteran. Like, what's the matter with us? But as the year's gone on, I mean, he's broken the record for like points scored for a Patriot in a season. He beat Goskowski. Like is his record. Like he's proven to me over the year that he could be consistent. And while that mile high game was like it might be concerning for some. The fact that spacing the Broncos kicker's name, but he's good.
Will
I'm
Lutz.
spacing it right now. Willets. Like him struggling too. I
His
think it
he
was
had a
just a tough
block as
environment.
well though. Like one of
Yeah,
his
his
was
did get
blocked.
blocked. His did get
I
blocked.
mean, it's just something to note. 1 of 3 in field goals. Obviously, huge weather impacts. The 63 yarders never a gimme, however you want to say it. So
That would
I
have been
it
like
was just curious. So
Fisher
I
record.
think I think I can answer that question. Was we're gonna chalk that one up to the snow.
Yeah, better be. I need my Vinatieri. I need my Vinatieri questions for the Seahawks Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, who's your who? So I guess I'll start it like this. Drake May's underwhelming performance. I think it's safe to say. I'm a big believer in doing what you need to do to get wins. He made the plays he needed to. He got the win. That said, don't think you could crown him as the MVP of the game. So who is Seth's MVP of the AFC Championship?
Uh, honestly, it's either Mondre for like his consistency, or it's um like the defenses. I don't want to say as a whole, but there's so many special plays that people made, like Christian Ellis with the strip sack, Durden picking it up, the pressure we apply with Barmore, there was stuffing with Millen. It's like, oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go Jack Gibbons for stepping in as the green dot linebacker when Spelling went down and keeping us steady through that blizzard. I'm gonna go Jack Gibbons as the
All
MVP of the
right.
game.
See, I would never would I have ever written that down. Here I was definitely anticipating a Ramondre answer or even spacing it. I'm spacing his
Caleb
name.
on
Not
Chase on.
okay. Thank you. Yes, it was just kind of a question as to who it was going to be on the defensive line, in my opinion, or the running back.
Yeah.
But you went
And they all deserve credit. They all played amazing.
all right. Drake May was sacked another 5 times. Over
Yeah.
under 3.5 times in the bowl. What you think?
I honestly think it's under, and I'll lay out a couple reasons here. One, I think the Seahawks D line is going to be potentially, of the three we faced so far, the weakest. I know that might seem like blasphemous, but like I think Tuli Pilotu and Mac are elite. I think obviously we don't got to talk about Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, like that's a no brainer.
Yeah.
And Cooper and Bonito, I mean there's no Cooper Bonito on the Seahawks like in terms of edge rushers. Now the problem is with the Seahawks, right? Their interior D line, that's the elite like part of their D line, but that's the strength of the Patriots D line. So our O line. So it's like while they do have a good D line, it's a different type of pressure and a different type of like problem for the Patriots. We're more equipped for that type of team than the Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter type
Yeah,
team.
dominant edge
So,
rushers versus a dominant interior rush
and I
is
think
definitely a different thing. Definitely a different story. Guards are
it
not
affects.
to say easier to find, but a little bit easier to find than
Yeah, you can
tackles
double
in the
team
NFL.
too. Like this, we can help way more. I feel like, but also it's easier. Okay, it's harder to throw. It's harder to step into your throw with interior pressure, obviously, but it's easier to see and navigate than someone coming off your blind side. I mean, there's a reason it's your blind side, right? So I do anticipate Drake being more upright in this game, more clean in this game, because it's a different type of pass rush. It's a different level of. It's not so exotic. There's not a lot of like loops and stunts. Like I think we'll be fine. And Will Campbell, I know people are slandering him in the media. Or maybe slandering is not the right word. He's not been amazing, but he hasn't been as bad as like some of these clips would say. Like he didn't allow Nick Benito to get a sack last game, which is like for how many times Drake May was sacked. I'm not upset about that. He did have a couple bad reps, but when you're pass blocking or you're blocking in general 60 times a game, if you get beat once or twice, like I don't know, as long as it doesn't end up in a sack or a strip sack, like it is what it is. Like you're gonna get beat sometimes.
I agree. So So under 3.5 sacks. That's what I'm penciling you in for.
Yeah,
All right.
I
All
mean that'll
right.
be tough, but he's getting sacked 5 times a game.
All right. I
I
do
think
have
it's a
another
game
thing that
pressure.
I am very concerned about, and to be honest, I think this is the most concerning stat that I have. You know, you guys are averaging 6 punts per game right now in the playoffs. Does that
Yeah, I did
not
not know that.
concern you? You guys have punted 19 times in the 3 playoff games you've had.
The amount of turnovers too, on top of all those punts. No, it definitely all concerns me. I do think we're going against the hardest defensive schedule in like NFL history, to be fair, but that doesn't mean it's okay for us to be as poor on offense as we have been. It is really bad. I will say I'm curious to how many times we punted in their Denver game, like how that skews that, because
It's a
the
great
Texans and
point.
Chargers game, I felt like the Texans game was like we were either we would start to
You
drive.
punted 8 times in the Denver game.
Okay,
Eight of
so
19.
8. So about 5 in the other game, then 4.5, whatever that
I
ends
said
up breaking
6.
down.
It was 6 per game. It's
Okay.
honestly a pretty good average considering the stats. Obviously, 8 does skew it a bit. You're sitting at a little under half of that. So that's a
It
fair point to bring up. It's fair
it
counter.
scares me because Rashid Shaheed is like, he's electric, but
Oh, trust me,
I
we'll
think our
cover
special
it.
teams, yeah, I think our special teams is actually pretty elite. So I don't think we're gonna have a situation like the Rams or the Niners. Like I don't foresee that. I'm not penciling in a special teams touchdown or a special team debacle. Just a little preview for that, but I am worried about how stagnant we can be. But I also think that might be a product of we should win these games. We're the better team. Let's not be aggressive. Coming into this game, I don't know if we're the better team. I think we do need to have our foot on the gas pedal a little bit.
Yep. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of playing to win and not playing to lose. So
Yeah,
playing not to lose is what I meant to say. Sorry.
good balance. But yes, I
That
agree.
said, I think I don't, correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't actually go back and listen, but I feel like I remember having this conversation vividly on the last pod. I think I said that Jarrett Stidham would lose them the game, but it wouldn't be from a surplus of turnovers or a surplus of bad plays, but just a very crucial one. Did I not hit that? Did I not nail that?
Yeah, no, you
And it should
definitely
have been
hit
a
that.
defensive touchdown. It should have been. I
Yeah,
have I have reconsidered what I said on Championship
in the
Sunday
moment.
watching the game with you, which is, and I'll reiterate. I had said at the time, like, can we just be happy they reversed the call from an incomplete pass? You have the ball at least, and yes, it did result in 7 points. That said, here's why I do, and it's a little bit of a sidebar, but oh well, we'll go on a tangent here.
Just mainly.
They blew a whistle for that Seattle 2 point conversion against the Rams that they ended up giving them through review. So
Yeah,
how the hell is that not a touchdown then?
yeah. You know what frustrated me though? Why I was so like mad is just how late the whistle came in, because it was let's let the ball play, let's let the ball play out, let's figure this out and replay. Like that's why we're not going to blow the whistle, but then they wait 10, 15 seconds to blow it right before we cross the goal line, and it's like why let it go, but only to a certain extent. That's why I was so frustrated because I think just let things play out, use replay as a tool to figure it out.
We should
Easy.
probably. I'm sorry.
You
Let
can't
me
reverse
just.
stuff.
We should probably clarify exactly the play we're talking about. I think at this point
Oh
it
yeah.
is a little bit more understood, but it was relatively early in the game that this happened, did it not?
Yeah, maybe a second quarter, maybe.
So it
Maybe into
was.
first.
No, I think you're right. Um, Regardless, Stidham rolls out of the pocket, kind of rolls back more so, I would say, than out. And your defense did a fantastic job chasing him down. Do you know who was in on the play
Christian
exactly?
Ellis, I
So
believe.
so Christian Ellis makes a huge play and forces Jarrett Stidham to do something kind of dumb. He kind of tries to push the ball with his palm forward. It was definitely a fumble. It definitely traveled backwards. All of that without say. So I agree. I on Championship Sunday I disagreed, saying that just be happy with the fact that you have the ball, and it did result in 7. I nah, I was wrong. I was wrong. It should have been a touchdown.
It's just the process of like, let's let the play go. Okay, let's blow it before it's a touchdown. It's like, why? Why draw the line there? That was so frustrating to me. But yeah,
Honestly, pretty impressive game by Denver to stay hanging around. Elements help them. It being at home helping, but backup quarterback in the AFC Championship is that's a rough. It's a rough way to end a
very rough.
season where I'm sure they were on cloud nine after beating Josh Allen, and yeah, that must have been a rude awakening. But unfortunately, great season overall. Hope for them. Hopefully they're back. All right, one last question before I move on to Rams Seahawks. I will obviously give you time to fill some stuff in if you would like to. I just kind of assumed most of our talk about the winners of these two games would come in a preview of the Super Bowl more so than
Yeah.
talk about the championship. So that's kind of why this is a little bit brief. If you were able to, right now, today, extend Drake May, would you already do it? Paying, considering you would be topping the market, you would be matching the top of the market.
Yeah, just because
So
what's he
I'm
gonna
gonna,
look like 3 years from now?
and
That's the thing.
that's valid. That's valid. I was kind of asking. The only reason I ask is obviously I think we both fall in the boat of believing that Drake May is great, will be great, and this isn't like a CJ Stroud year or I can't think of any really other year two quarterbacks who popped like this. I feel like it's been a lot of like rookie year pops. I guess you could say Caleb Williams just did it. I think it's much different conversation as far as how they did it. So I was asking more so because that's $60 million per season, and I just kind of want to know where you're at, especially considering this conversation going around about the people who have been paid or those that are approaching needing to be paid. It's an
Yeah,
easy answer for you, it seems.
yeah, he's just. I mean, he's the future for sure, but I'm pretty sure his 5th year option because we just picked it up is like 45 million right now.
Ooh,
Like, all right, how
damn.
much? If he hits another Pro Bowl next year, it's gonna be like 50 something million, and at a certain point, it's like, all right, we're pretty much there anyways. Like, let's just give him the
A
long
lot is
term,
made of
lock him in.
winning on a rookie contract, and
Yeah,
just for
definitely the best opportunity.
yeah. So you got any closing thoughts about that Denver game?
Uh, I do kind of hate the narrative that if Bo Nix plays, like it's an easy Broncos win. Is like I don't see us playing the same
A
way.
different
If that makes sense,
script.
like I wouldn't say that we're gonna win. I would never. It could go either way, or it might even be more Bronco Patriot. Like it might be favored just the way we did end up playing. But yeah, it's like we wouldn't have just punted 17 consecutive times or however many times you
Eight
want to say.
times.
Like that would not have happened. Like
Yeah, there was
we
definitely
wouldn't have
conservative
thrown the
choices
ball
made,
away intentionally.
and I definitely agree with that. It's a bad narrative. There's a lot of bad narratives though. So moving on to another narrative, Sam Darnold apparently is now I swear to this is why I say this. I swear that Sam Darnold is now narratively the best quarterback playing in the Super Bowl, which I think is outlandish. I think it's insane. He did light it up. So before we get to that, how impressed were you by Darnold in the NFC Championship?
I was impressed because I was okay. I'll scale like 1 to 10. I'll say it was like an 8.5, 9 because he answered a lot of questions for me when it came to like the big moment, the big game. Can he do it? He did do it. He matched Stafford. Like it was amazing. I do have some points I'm gonna get into when it comes to the Seahawks Patriots in order to help my delusion. But like overall, coming right after that game, I was like, wow, Sam Darnold just was amazing. Like this was an insane game from him. I never saw him being the reason they won. I thought he'd be the reason they don't lose, if that makes sense. But that was
I
like
definitely agree with that.
that was a an elite outing by him in like the biggest moment of his career so far. So it was definitely that's an impressive victory to me.
I completely agree. I think that what made it so impressive was his ability to come back on the field right after Stafford and McVay had just absolutely cooked something up. I mean, that's like the only way I can think to say it. They got down the field in like 2 to 3 plays, and it just felt like Darnold and Kubiak, I guess, for the sake of argument here, they were like, okay, watch this. And the only reason I found it so impressive was because they were still either in the lead or in a position where you would think like let's kill a little bit of clock here, maybe slow the ball game down. They just didn't. They didn't care. They kept their foot on the gas, and that's exactly what I was just saying a moment ago. I want to see people play to win and don't play not to lose. And I think that's kind of what the Rams did in some certain conservative play calling situations. I think you'll get to that a little bit more. And I was very, very impressed by the way Darnold stood and delivered right after it felt like momentum could have easily shifted to the other side.
Yeah, honestly, the Seahawks in general, like I mean, the K9 and JSN played out of their mind. And I was making a joke to our buddies while we were watching the game, like K9's got like an Omnitrix back there, and just every time it needs to be a different running back, he just hits that boom, Le'Veon Bell. I got patience. I'm sitting behind my blocks, and then all of a sudden he's Sean Alexander just bowling people over. It's like any given run, this dude's turning into a different running back, like prime Marshawn Lynch. Like it was genuinely insane. I know he kind of fell off towards the end of the game, but like that was like first 2 or 3 drives. He was a monster. He looked insane. He looked like a top 2 running back in the league. Like that, he was just playing
He's
out of
had
his
a
mind.
very good playoff run as a whole.
Oh yeah, he's getting paid. He's
He's
getting
getting paid.
paid.
Indeed, he does. He
Yeah.
is a pending free agent, so very, very much valid. Valid statement. He will get his money. Will it be with Seattle?
Probably because they. I mean, with Sam Darnold being on the contract he is, I think they can afford some extra pieces. And honestly, I don't know who would even give him like a. I mean, like a $12 million per year deal outside of like the team he's with. Because if I'm another team, I'm probably just like I'll take it. I'll take my chance in the draft, or I'll look at Jeremiah Love or something like
Teams
that.
definitely don't usually want to spend that type of money
Yeah,
on that position. It is a premium, and my team happens to be one that pays that premium. All right, that said, that's not the conversation for K9 at the moment. 38 rushes, 178 yards. He's about 90 a game, averaging 4.7 a carry and 4 touchdowns, and that's just his rushing stats. He's had some effect with receiving as well, adding another like 80 yards, I believe. So he has been nothing short of incredible on this playoff run.
he's been the stabilizer for that offense.
I don't disagree with you, especially after Charbonnet gets hurt, goes down, and that was his running mate in the backfield, and now you have to do it a whole different way. You got to be the bell cow, and he's answered. So very impressed, very impressed. All right, got another question for you. Who do you blame more for this loss, Sean McVay or Xavier Smith, the punt returner?
Uh, I'll definitely say Xavier Smith because it's the only turnover in the game. Well, no, because there's like some fourth down turnovers, but they like an actual physical like turnover that's recorded on the stat sheet. But I'm not happy with Sean McVay either in terms of the game plan. One of my biggest things is I think you should have went for 2 when they were down 4, or well, they would have been down 5 if they didn't get it right, which doesn't make a difference. The touchdowns needed regardless. But in that moment, the way the game had been going, them averaging 8.6 yards a play, but they can't convert on third and fourth down. They didn't convert a single time. Like it's let's take this momentum. We're down 4 if we kick this PAT. Like what's the point? Let's go for 2 here, and then we're only down a field goal. And at that point, I think they passed up on what would have been a field goal like twice after that to tie the game. So it seemed like a little bit of like an error in the moment, and even now in retrospect, it feels like an error. But overall, I thought they did enough to win. It just Sam Darnold had the game of his life. Like sometimes you can't predict that. you just gotta take a
It was
loss.
definitely an incredible game, and it was pretty ironic considering the last game he was just a passenger in what was a blowout against the 49ers. So
Yeah.
there were some questions with injury, which we will discuss a little bit, I assume, in a bit here. But I have I have a personal question, not a podcast question. Well, not personal, but just hear me out. What makes a wide receiver so great? Is it a system? Is it their skill? Obviously, you're going to say a mixture of both. But my point in saying this is, do you scheme up fantastic seasons, or are these receivers just so good? Because I can't tell. Because I'm like, oh, Sean McVay's a great play caller. He did it with Cup. Now he's done it with Puka. He used Devontae well. So should I be like Puka is the best receiver in the league, or should I be like Puka's a top 5 receiver, but he's got Sean McVay? You get my question here?
I get what you're saying. It's like how much does Sean McVay and Stafford get credit for Puka and vice versa? Um,
And yes, and well, vice versa. Actually, I would say almost the opposite for receivers that are so good that play so well in not necessarily a bad system, but with bad quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like, where do I weigh this? JSN had this incredible year. Not to say Sam Darnold's bad, but with Sam Darnold, Puka's had this incredible year with the either MVP or MVP runner up. Sam had a great year. I'm not trying to diminish that. He's had two back to back great years, in fact, and helped a receiver put up not record breaking but career records. You know what I mean? So I'm genuinely curious how to answer this question. How do you factor that in? How do you list your top five receivers at this point?
How do I list them?
It's
And
not, I'm not asking you to. I just mean like how do we formulate the? It's
honestly,
rough. I'm confused.
the biggest trait for me, or what I think makes a receiver like elite, like top whatever, top five, is the ability to track the ball in the air. And I think no one's better in the league than that, than JSN and Jay Jettas and Jamar Chase. Like these guys, their
So
ability to
Puka's
track the
not in
ball in the
that.
air. No, Puka isn't that. Sorry,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm. That's kind of what I'm. So
Puka is in there
we'll get
for
down to
sure.
business. Puka or JSN if you really want to dumb it all the way
I'm
down. But
gonna obviously Puka's a much better run blocker. I don't know if there's a better run blocking wide receiver in the league than Puka. Puka is much more physical. He has tools in his you know bag that JSN can't, because JSN's not 6'3", 205, 215. Like there's just certain things that Puka can do that JSN can't. But I say all that to say I'm taking JSN because JSN is next level in terms of route running, tracking the
excuse
ball in
me.
the air, catching it. If it's in his hands, he's coming down with it. Like I love Puka's game too, and he actually is a great route runner. I feel like people discredit him because he's so physical, but he does have a lot. He does have a tendency to just be like, I'm just gonna
He's a
run through your
very.
face on this post and just ag you, and that's it.
I think he's a pretty complete
JSN is a lot
receiver,
more.
man. It's so tough for me.
Yes,
It's so tough for me because I'm also trying to factor in his
it's
quarterback
one
and
A, one B.
ball player, and it's a
Yeah,
great question. And both of them were fantastic in that NFC Championship
they
game.
both have superpowers too.
JSN, however, 13 catches, 172 yards, two touchdowns. Is it safe to
13
say?
catches. Oh Lord.
Yeah, he was targeted heavily.
Yeah.
Uh, It's safe to say that in that contest, he was the better of the two.
Yeah. But I'd say the other two times it was Nakua who was the better of the two. So it just depends on how you want it. Like I think I take JSN for like the consistency and like the longevity. I don't know if Puka's game is like a 15-year, Larry Fitzgerald type of career arc, whereas I could see JSN is more so. But I'm not mad at either one. Whoever you take, I'm not mad at either one. I do think JSN is the best receiver in the league now. Like that game stamped it for me. I was like, all right. It's been Jay Jettis for like 2 or 3 years, and I've been kind of just giving him like the benefit of the doubt. But at this point, it's
Funny
just
because
JSN.
the conversation was brought up because I'm kind of leaning towards saying that same thing about Puka.
Like, yeah, gotcha. I wouldn't be mad. Puka could be two for a lot of people. He might be two for me if I really sat down and thought about it.
It's rough. We'll get to it in the off season. We'll have plenty of time to fill some gaps. Speaking of getting into things in the off season, we have decided to push back conversation about the coaching hires. There are just so many to talk about, and I feel like it'd be a little bit nicer to stay focused on what's left for us, which is the final game of the year, the most important game of the year, and lucky for us, at least 50% of the podcast is represented. So we
Mm,
got a little bit more at hand.
yeah.
All right, let's get into the Super Bowl preview. Unless you got a little more to say about the Rams, I mean, it's a great season,
Um.
incredible ending, and thank God we got three of those games.
Yeah. Honestly, everything I have to say about the Seahawks and Rams, or it's going to be a negative or something when it comes up into our preview. But I do want to say just real quick while it's on the front of my mind, Belichick being snubbed to the Hall of Fame, genuinely irritating. I don't understand it. Like I know this is gonna be a tangent, but there's some
No, you deserve this.
Patriot hate that I want to get off the chest. I can't wrap my head around it because the Spygate situation. Like if that's why he got punished, then is Tom Brady gonna get punished for the Deflategate thing? Like those are both isolated incidents. Like Belichick was never tried, never whatever indicted, never even got any type of slap on the wrist from the NFL for the Deflategate thing. That was exclusively a Tom Brady like witch trial, in my opinion. But whatever, that's a different story for a different day. Belichick, that was 2007. After 2007, or that was 2006, 2001 to 2006. After 2006, we had the greatest season of our like in my opinion NFL history. And even if you take away like everything before 2006, he's still second or first in every single category when it comes to postseason victories and Super Bowls and things like that. So he's had like 3 Hall of Fame careers in one. You can't tell a story of the NFL without Bill Belichick. And I feel like if you were to take like the first 10 people to come to mind on who should be going into the Hall of Fame, like his name would be on that list. And him not making it is genuinely so frustrating, and it's so like based. Like it's like,
Dumb.
yeah, he ended bad. He has a girlfriend that controls his whole life now. He's
None of
a
that should
65-year-old
matter.
senior man, but he's the greatest coach in the history of the game, and he isn't first ballot. I
It
don't understand
is
it.
it. If I could add one thing to what you just said, because I honestly fully agree. I find myself fully agreeing with all of that. I'm not a Patriots fan. That's evident, but I respect greatness, and he is greatness. He's the embodiment of greatness. I also now want to say this makes me like, you know how the Pro Bowl's lost its flavor. It doesn't matter. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't. The Pro Bowl doesn't really matter right now. They could fix it. There's a way to fix it. Other shows, other podcasts have gone over that. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna say any of that, but there's a way to fix that. That said, this decision, it weighs on me what the Hall of Fame means, what it means to be a Hall of Famer, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. Where we both know that. The issue is he should have been the first ballot. If he isn't first ballot, who is? It's dumb. It's politics, like you said.
it
I
calls
really think
under
it's
credibility.
yeah. It's that's a well said, well way to put it because I couldn't exactly find the word. I called it flavor, so I'm glad you helped with that one. But truly, it's really disappointing, and it's kind of a joke. It's it's really dumb. Like I can't think of another word, and I'm dumbfounded. Like that's how I feel.
I think it should be all be achievement based, and it feels like it came down to like this guy was mean to us for 20 years as a media member. Like, I'm gonna get him back on the back end. And maybe I'm just putting too much human emotion into it, I guess. But these are humans voting for him, and it feels like that's what took over. And then the Bob Kraft, like for him not to get in, like
Oh yeah,
either
the
in this
owner.
year, like it's like, oh my god, like how many times are we gonna strike out? Because there's only 5 people on the finalists for like contributors. And if Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft didn't make it, who made it out of those people? Like I'm so interested to know because it's genuinely like Robert Kraft is the best owner in NFL history in my opinion. He's been to 12 Super Bowls. He's only owned a team for 30 years. Like he's taken 3 different head coaches and quarterback combinations to the Super Bowl. Like this man, he's the greatest owner. And I don't get me wrong, I had some doubts after Brady Belichick because that's all I've ever known. And you hired Gerard Mayo, and you know how I felt about that at the time. I was like, I don't mind change, but this is too similar. Like this is a nothing move. It's lateral at best, and it turned out to be lateral. 4-13 into 4-13. Like who would have seen that coming? Like whatever, right? I didn't like it, but I understood that he had promised this man this role for years and groomed him and yada. But he got off that immediately. He knew when he was wrong. Just like you always say all the time, it's big to you to know when you made a mistake and just get off it early.
Yeah,
That's so huge, and he does that. He does everything
timelines matter.
correctly besides visiting massage parlors. Like he everything else is like
We don't talk
amazing.
about that. We will talk about that.
He's an amazing owner, but and then one more thing,
And
unless
mac
you have
and
something to say
cheese.
about the Robert Yeah,
No, I'm honestly just been. I'm also full agreement with this one. I feel less strongly towards it, mostly
yeah,
because it's an NFL owner. I guess it should be, in my opinion, more in the shadows. But I will
I
say
agree.
that if hear me out, if Jerry Jones is a first ballot, then I'm gonna be
Jerry
pretty
Jones
pissed
already in.
off. Well, wait,
Jerry
what?
Jones already in.
Blew my mind just
Jerry
now.
Jones already in. A lot of our owners are already in. Like a lot of them are in
I
while they're
also don't
still in the
understand
team. It's
that
not like
part.
a
Like truly, how they could
yeah.
be in. I'm a little bit confused on how owners and Hall of Fame candidacy goes for that. But I don't disagree with
And
you. They both
Robert
just should
Kraft's
be in.
0-14. Robert Kraft's 0-14.
So he's
He's
been
been
up for it for 14
14
straight years.
times.
Right?
Yeah. At a certain point, like it just doesn't make any sense to me. But I will say in this last subject, like regardless of Hall of Fame, maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll change the system. Maybe they won't. It's frustrating, but nothing we can control with that. They'll eventually be in. Tom Brady saying he has no horse in this race is so frustrating to me because Don't get me wrong, he's a Raider. He owns part of the Raiders now. I own that comes with the territory. That's fine. He works for NFL on Fox, and he hasn't commentated on a single Pats game. That's fine. I'm not. I don't need this man to be a homer whatsoever. It's just when it's teed up for you to be like, what team are you rooting for? The team you beat 11 years ago, or the team you played 20 years for? And you say, I got no horse in this race. It's like, why is it so hard to just say, oh yeah, I have the Pats in this one, or I want the Pats in this one because whatever, whatever it is. It's like every opportunity he has, every
Easy
time.
answer
It's not even
too.
just a one. It's an easy answer. It's not even the one time it's come up either. It's just like a constant like beat around the bush. Oh, like it's so him and Belichick are so frustrating because it feels like I'm looking for like love from somebody who like has like it's like an abusive relationship or however you want to describe it. Like Belichick barely said "we" as referring to the Patriots like after 3 years, and it genuinely put a smile on my face when he said "we," and I was like, "Wow, thank you." Like you acknowledge you were here for 20 years. Like that's amazing. It's like the same with Brady. Like he doesn't. It's like it's almost like he didn't play here. It's like it was all in Tampa. Like that's the way he treats it. It's so frustrating. So frustrating.
Hey, I had a segment in the year at some point talk about the Eagles, and I just said I'm gonna call this get off my. I need to get this off my chest, and sounds like you needed that. Sounds like you needed that. All right, I'm gonna move us on to the Super Bowl now. We're here. I hate it.
Oh,
I hate it. I dislike
I
it
love it.
so strongly. No, of course you do. It's your team in the Super Bowl. That said, I hate that it's over in a week. Less
Oh
than a
yeah.
week. It's over.
Went by so fast.
Might cry. Might cry. All right. Super Bowl 60. Huge deal, man. The Seahawks, the team that only lost 3 times this year by a total of 9 points, versus the New England Patriots, the team that you probably don't know is better in every offensive category than the Seahawks. People won't let you believe that, but it is true. I'm gonna make it very easy to start this off, and then we'll get into some more details. You can get into the why, but here's your layup, Seth. Don't Tom Brady this. Who you got? Seahawks or Pats?
I don't think I have a horse in this
Yeah,
race.
shut the hell up.
Like, okay, I'm definitely Seahawks should be favored. I'll say that from the jump because what I'm gonna say is gonna be a lot of disparaging stuff as we talk about it more and more.
Has to be.
When it comes to the Seahawks, they're the more complete team. They had a more dominant showing. I understand all that. I'm taking the Patriots for a litany of reasons that, like, again, I don't want to lay it all out right here. I don't want to, mag dump it right now, but it really comes down to I think we match up really well for their weaknesses, and obviously vice versa. But I think we're more tested, and you can discredit this if you want, or if you can go into your counterpoints if you like want to based on this. But I think of the teams we played, while the quarterbacks have been lackluster, I guess you could say. I think it's more like I think that some of that credit should go to the defense, but also we've played a significantly more difficult schedule in terms of just everything: road, blizzard, snow game, every game being below 32. Like, and they've played the 30th. The Seahawks, they've played the 30th and the 28th ranked defense since November. They haven't played a complete like both defenses, in my opinion, have been sorry. Like that's just what it comes down to for me. No corners on either team. No, like, I mean, you got Verse and Young, so I don't want to say no pass rush, but they weren't doing anything that game either. So they couldn't stuff the run. Like they're gonna come against the Patriots. They're gonna get the run stuff. They're gonna see some corners. Like JSN hasn't played a single good whatever you want to say. It's gonna be a lot of exotic looks. Sam Darnold's gonna have to make reads like post snap. We're gonna show him. We're gonna disguise everything we do. It's all gonna be on him. Can he do it? Is the question I have for you. I guess is, who do you have, and do you think Sam Darnold can be the reason they win this game?
I hate this question already. I was supposed to ask you, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you've been asking questions about this. That's why I feel
No,
like
it's
I
fair.
got
It's
to
fair.
tee you
It's
up some.
fair. All right. Let me just lay some things out. All right, some cool stats, and then I'll get into my actual answer.
Here.
I'm absolutely correct when I said what I said. The Pats are better in points per game, in yards per game, both pass and rush. Also in time of possession, they're also much better on third down. They also have turned the ball over significantly less. Oh man, I'm a man of my word, so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pick the Seahawks because of what I said on the podcast last week. Everything I say, you come to your own conclusion on whose side I'm on, but every single game that I've chosen against them because of one reason, primarily. The 49ers one, maybe not so much. But the last few weeks that were essentially playoff games, if you will, they were seeding, deciding games of the regular season mixed into this run that they've had, the two games of the playoffs that they've had. Not Drake, Darnold's been great. However, I am a very big believer in trusting the better quarterback, and there's not a doubt in my mind that the better quarterback in this game is Drake May.
I agree. I agree. He's the better quarterback.
So again, everything I say, you can come to your own conclusion on how I feel. But because I'm a man of my word, I'm taking the Seahawks. They're beating y'all. They're winning.
Yeah, and they should be the favorite, and it does make sense. They've been
Their defense is good.
everything
Their
you could
defense
say
is
the
really good.
Patriots have been. Yeah, everything you could say the Patriots
Yeah,
have been during the regular season. The Seahawks have been that and more because their defense has been there this entire season. Where
I could
I mean,
bring
anyone that's
arguments that
listened,
you need because
yeah,
you're gonna
anyone,
be super pro Patriot as you should
of
be.
course,
And
yeah,
because I'm your best friend and I talk to you a lot, I found myself to be a little bit Patriot tainted. Uh, that
yeah.
said, I will football logically disagree with some things that you're gonna say, and there's one specific thing that I'm really hoping you say, and it has to do with
Probably well
it
said.
has something to do with some
And Darnold.
defense. So no,
Oh yeah.
it's not
No,
quarterback related. It's defense related.
I was gonna say the defense, like coming into this, if you listen to the episodes previous, I was saying I think the regular season, what inflated, if anything was inflated by the regular season, the awful schedule we played in terms of the competition, not how whatever you want to say. Um, I thought our defense was going to be the one exposed and not be a top 8 unit because we're not playing Dylan Gabriel's and things of that nature.
You didn't have to say my name.
Uh,
You could have said other quarterbacks. I'm just saying.
Could have said that quarterbacks, yeah. But I thought that was going to be the thing, but thing that was exposed. But here we are in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, and they've allowed less points, per game than the 02, the 2000 Ravens. Like I did not
That's Trent
see this
Dilfer.
coming. So what's not Trent Dilfer whatsoever. I didn't see this at any point, any way. Like this was shocking. Seahawks defense has been elite this entire year. They've been, while not like the most ferocious in terms of big plays or pass rush, they like constrict you. You throw that ball off into the flat and it's 11 people hitting you simultaneously. Like they fly to the ball, they punish you. They make everything, they make every window tight. Like it's going to be a very very difficult game. Everyone needs to get vertical. You catch the ball, no go in north and west or whatever you want to say, east and west, no north and west. No go in east and west. You got to get vertical. You catch the ball, get vertical because you need every yard in this game. There's going to be no big plays. In my opinion, it's going to be so difficult.
Hmm.
But Drake May has found a way in every game to find a way to win,
So
stamp the
Jalen
game,
Hurts it.
finish the game, do whatever he can do. Jalen hurts it. Jalen Alexander hurts it. He's found a way in like every moment, calling his own number on that 3rd and 7 against the Broncos. The whole team thinks it's a you know wide zone to the right. The third time in a row, he keeps himself on a boot. He's running. He stiffs arm. I think he's Jonah Ellis, Christian Ellis's brother. Stiff arms him into the dirt, gets the first down. Like that. These are huge plays he's making. The 3 touchdowns, like the booty catch, next level catch by Booty. But like that ball was perfect too. I'm sure everyone's seen the highlight replay, like in the snow. All it's like it was a perfect ball.
It was like the only good
Obviously,
ball of the day.
well, I thought the Demario Douglas 4th and 1. And then the Diggs catch was amazing too, but I thought he fit that in.
I'm being
He looked
hyperbolic.
off the
Okay, just
safety.
continue with your
Yeah.
actual point.
Sorry. Yeah. I I do think that Drake May has played harder defenses in more difficult situations, and he
Hmm.
has the answer. I think Sam Darnold has played significantly worse defenses, the run game has been elite, and they pass off they there's so much play action, there's so much on schedule throws for him because they're 3rd and 2s instead of 3rd and 8s. That I don't want to say it's easy. It's not easy. It's the NFL. It's the NFC Championship. It's not easy. It's just easier than the situations Drake has been put into, and Drake has found a way to answer those. Maybe not every drive, maybe not every time, but he's found a way to answer them. Whereas Sam Darnold has he was a passenger in the Niners game, and the Seattle game or in the Seattle Rams game, he was amazing, but he was completing these passes on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1s. JSN had like 7 all-time catches in one game. And when it comes to our defense, I think we're gonna double JSN. We're gonna stuff the run. We're gonna disguise our looks. He's gonna have to make reads post snap. It's gonna be night and day from the Rams defense. And honestly, and I hate to say this because I cannot believe I find myself agreeing with Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd. This is where I think my delusion is setting in. I wish it was other people telling me this stuff and me agreeing, but I'm not ready to crown Sam Darnold because he won one playoff game and erased the 7 years previous. Or he won two, but you get what I mean. Like he won one where it was all on him. Like
Yeah.
he answered the bell. I'm not ready to say that he's a big game quarterback or this is just who Sam Darnold is now. Maybe I'm being delusional, but I'm kind of hoping he's gonna see ghost.
I'm not gonna say that it's an impossibility.
It's definitely not a
I'm
possibility. But
waiting
you
for
think
you
it's
to
like,
say like a certain key thing. I'm like so keyed in trying to hear you say a specific thing. So
all right,
uh,
I'll try to hit it.
go
Our
ahead.
defense is better. Is that it? Is
No,
that the
it's
one?
not that, but that's
Okay.
wrong.
I don't really believe it. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to set off the booby
No,
trap
no,
here.
no. There's a certain thing. It has to do with someone you played. So, all right, I
The
gotta.
Texans are better. They're a
Yep,
better
there it
defense.
is. All right,
Yep,
you done did
they're a
it. You
better
done
defense.
found it.
Yep.
No,
Yes.
no,
Whatever you're gonna say, I'm gonna be disagree.
no.
I hear it.
Here's why. I believe that the Texans are a great defense, and I do think that they were the second best defense in the league this year. I do believe that. Two things can be true, okay? I'm not at all going to diminish them. They're fantastic. However, I am way more afraid of a great, talented defense, but a great schematically ran defense than I am versus a line it up and beat me type of defense.
Now I
And
get what
that's
you're saying, but
exactly what
there's
the
some.
Texans were. They're fantastic. They have superb talent all around. Almost all 11 guys were, I mean, shoot, I could definitely call them Pro Bowlers at this point, but but
Yes,
all
like
11 guys
yes.
were pretty
Yeah.
damn good, and they lined it up and they played you. Obviously, I'm not going to say that they didn't have a scheme and they didn't have a plan. I just mean that relatively what it looked like when you watched their defense was you got to go through me. I'm going to just like man versus man,
That's
strength
why it's
versus
more
strength.
impressive.
And I guess you could say that, but I'm not saying what's more impressive. I'm saying what scares me more
Yeah. Okay.
is a highly schematic defense, and I think that that's what Mike McDonald is that right, or is it McDonald?
Whatever it needs to be. That
All
bump.
right, that bump. I don't agree that that is a worse defense, and it's hard to kind of come out there and have that opinion right now, especially considering what kind of defensive performance they just had against Matthew Stafford. But I do still believe in what I'm saying. I also believe in vice versa of this same take. I also believe that Stafford's the one to Drake Mace two in this MVP race, or one to two to the one, however you want to view it.
Yeah, I think it's Stafford's at this point.
Unfortunately, but that said, I definitely think it's possible that this high end quarterback in Drake May comes in and he can light it up. I think two things can be true. I'm just saying what I fear more is schematically ran defenses that they work. And I guess maybe this is some bias because I don't think that the Eagles played line it up and we beat you. I think Vic Fangio is a wizard and it works. So
I'm
this
more
could definitely be some bias in it, but I
more
don't
for those
think that
teams
they're
that can
better. I don't think the Texans
scheme
defense
up.
is better. More
I mean,
talented?
I
Sure.
yeah,
I'll
I
concede
think it's
that.
better. I think the Texans defense would have been an all-time defense had they gone and won a Super Bowl, played a Super. We would be talking about the 2015 Broncos, 2013 Seahawks. Like that is the level of respect that I have for that Texans defense. You could say it's a little biased because I like them. I've liked them for a long time, but this to me being we're going to be in cover 3 or cover 1 this entire game. Line it up, try to beat us. That to me is like, and you know what's coming, and you still can't
It's
beat it. That's
impressive.
so
It's
difficult.
impressive.
But the Seattle defense, the reason why I'll say this about the Seattle defense in terms of schematics is very impressive, rally to the ball, great defense, second best defense in the league. Like it's the second best. So we're splitting hairs here at the end of the day. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know
the
if they're the
confusion
second
could be
best.
a factor. The confusion could, the Texans.
No, I just mean
Oh
if you're saying that they're the second, I thought you were saying that Seattle was second. Sorry,
yeah, Seattle is the second.
in
Yeah,
your mind,
I
I
think
don't
that's what
agree with that. I think it's one and two the other way. That's all I'm saying.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
I
three is the
thought okay,
Eagles.
gotcha. Um, okay,
Gotta throw that in there.
screw me. Like they are susceptible to big plays. They just are. Their corners are like Josh Jobe and Tariq, Woolen. They're not. They're not Stingley and Lassiter. They're not even Tarheeb Still. Like they're both okay. They're good. They're whatever. They're susceptible to big plays. They're aggressive. There's gaps in this defense in order to, they spruce it up, but there's gaps to hit. And McDaniels is going to find that. Like Josh McDaniels is going to find that. He's been here. He's been to the Super Bowl 10 times. Okay. He's six time as the offensive coordinator. And he's seen this defense. This is just the Seattle Six from the Legion of Boom era. Like he knows where to hit this defense. Like he has the experience. I think Drake May is gonna have a good game because of that, like the readiness. But it's more when you have Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson beating your lineman in a second and a half, and the coverage, your weakest coverage point might be Bullock, who's like a great young player. Like that's not the same as having
All right.
Witherspoon out there or Josh Jobe out there or Kobe Bryant out there. Or I mean, I'm not gonna disrespect Julian Love. He's probably the best safety we've played, if I'm being completely honest. Because if we want to say the nickel, if we want to say Petrie is just a nickel now, then Julian Love's probably the
I
best
don't know,
safety we've played
but
this
I
year.
still think Caleb Bullock's pretty damn good. So
He's yeah, but that's probably the weakest part of the Texans defense. No, so it's like that's crazy. That is crazy. Or there's
either way,
probably
I have
five players in the
more
Seahawks who
on
wouldn't
my
even
mind
start for
than
the
that
Texans.
argument. So
Yeah, sorry. They're an elite defense. Again, I don't want to take nothing away from it. I just think the
yeah,
Texans is like it next like the generational defense is what it would have been had they gone farther.
I'm not gonna argue that. I do have some questions for you. Um, what what's the I guess I'll ask it in both ways. What's the winning formula? What's the losing formula for the Patriots in your mind? Like, is it
Okay.
getting it? And I'll explain just a little bit. Obviously, you can go full schematic on me if you'd like to, but I kind of more so mean, do you think you guys need a really hot start, punch them in the mouth, or do you think you need to be sustainable and balanced and run the ball a lot, control the clock? Like, what is the
Mm,
winning formula? What's the losing formula?
So I think the way we lose is Drake May is abysmal or just mediocre or bad, whatever you want to say. More turnovers than Sam Darnold. We don't control the game at all. Our defense, you know, they might let up. They might have the worst outing of the year because this will be the best quarterback we put in the playoffs. Like that's the formula. This defense is fool's gold, or they're just on the field a lot because Drake May can't play. That's the formula. The Seahawks just play the game they have. They have delayed this entire year. Just destroy people systematically.
What's the win?
That's the win. That's how the Seahawks win. That's probably the most clear path of everything. Again, I want to preface all this. They deserve to be the favorites. That's probably the easiest path. I think all the pressure is on the Seahawks, and this is what I'm going to come to on some like psychological stuff. Most of this stuff is cope, right? They have all the pressure. We're going to come out. We're the underdogs. We're going to come out on fire. We're definitely going to, we have to punch them in the mouth, I think. We have to get up on them 7-0, 14-0, play our
I
brand of
love this
football.
answer. You're gonna hate what I
Yeah.
have to say.
No, I know because it's probably not going to happen, but I think this is what has to
No, you're gonna
happen.
hate
At
what I
least
have to say.
7-0. We have to get up on them quick, punch them in the mouth, make them feel that pressure, that crushing pressure. Like just as a fan, like expecting to win a playoff game, my heart is so much more like in dire straits than if I was just, oh, I'm happy to be here. Like I feel like the Patriots are more happy to be here in America's mind than the Seahawks. And I think that'll play that's huge. Like that psychological pressure is huge. I think Sam Darnold is going to struggle without a consistent run game because we're going to shut down K9. He's going to have pressure from the interior. He can't handle that. Like point blank period. That's his most difficult Like if he wanted to deal with pressure anywhere, he definitely wanted to come from his blind side or the right side and step up into the pocket. He's not comfortable with interior pressure. Milton Williams, Barmore, the best D tackle duo in the league, in my opinion. I know you're gonna say your team. I
I'm
don't
not.
care. It's
The
it's
Eagles aren't
Wilton and
relevant
Barmore.
right now.
No, I
I
know, but
find a way to bring them up. Don't get me wrong,
and
but
I think Sandarno's gonna have to pass the ball on 3rd and 8s, and we're gonna be in exotic coverages, and we're gonna disguise everything, and he's gonna struggle. He's gonna see ghosts. That is
mhm.
my cope right there.
I'm
See
also
ghosts,
not going to
pressure,
disrespect Milton Williams, who could be on a
mhm,
back to back right now. So,
champion.
all right,
This is Garrett Blunt art.
okay. Let me just tell you why I love that answer. And I'm not saying that this is my expectation. It's just something that I happened to discover while prepping for this podcast, and that is that you know what? No, I'm wording it wrong. No, it's too late. I already gave it away. Tom Brady only had one first quarter touchdown in the Super Bowl. All the Super Bowls that he played in. One first quarter touchdown.
That's right.
With his OC being in how many of those? Josh McDaniels. I couldn't answer that
I
question.
think
I know
4. He would frag victories, but like 6 in total is the
in
OC.
total, yeah. Well, I'm talking about in total in Super Bowls that he appeared in. He has one first quarter
Yeah,
touchdown, which by the way might be
yeah.
stat of the year because I had no idea. Would you have guessed that? Did you know that? Like, is that
Okay,
something you
so
see often as a Patriots fan, or like how's that? Because I
every time we're in
truly
the
was.
Super
I
Bowl,
didn't know
yeah.
that. I didn't know that.
Every time I'm in the Super Bowl, they would talk about how Tom Brady plays. They start the game slow, especially in especially in that Atlanta Super Bowl. It was like every other word out of their mouth was that Tom Brady doesn't score in the opening quarter. But I will say this: like the first 3 Super Bowls, I think Tom Brady had like one passing touchdown. So, in general, like that's why I think Belichick, again, not to get off credit, topic here. That's why Belichick deserves like a lot of credit. People I feel like just discredit him because this was 20 years ago. But Tom Brady was a passenger for those first 3 Super Bowls. When it comes to like the over, like he had one touchdown in the entire run to the first Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like I'll digress off that, but yes, I knew that was a stat because they throw it down
Yeah.
your mouth.
So
But I
that's that of
didn't
the
I
year.
didn't
Yeah.
think about applying that. No, it is stat of the year because for a lot of people like that aren't.
I
It
had no
is stat of the
idea.
year,
That blew my mind.
but that is such a good point though, because I just kind of damn,
I know. I'm sorry.
because
I'm sorry.
it's just Josh McDaniels. Like it's just
Exactly.
Josh
It's a Josh
McDaniels.
McDaniel. It became a Josh McDaniel stat when, and I try to set myself up for that with that question, But I hate to rain on your parade, bro. I don't like it. All right, moving on. It's in cool
Defensive touchdown,
stats.
pick six, start the game.
Moving on in cool stats. All right, Darnold is going to be the first quarterback to ever play uh, for 5 different teams, 5+ teams, and start in the Super Bowl.
Mm.
It's pretty cool. Other side of the ball, also history. Drake May will be the second youngest starting quarterback in the Super Bowl. The youngest being Dan Marino. But if he wins, he could be the youngest to ever win one.
Beating up Big Ben.
He would beat out Big Ben. I'm sure it's by days. I think they were both 23 technically, but it's history on either side technically. I mean, the Darnold one's kind of an ESPN stat, but no shots, no shots. We'll call it a LeBron stat.
He's also the first USC quarterback to start in a Super Bowl.
That is true,
I don't know
yeah.
if that seems crazy or not,
And
but
then
there's so
isn't
many great
it
USC quarterbacks.
with Drake May doing this? He's now like one of like five, or UNC is now one of five schools that had like a Super Bowl starting quarterback and a president of the United States. Don't ask me to list them. I don't know them all. I know that's a
That's
stat
insane.
though.
Correlation. What year was he born? What year did the other guy die? Wait, let's get
Couldn't
to
tell
it
you.
first.
Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. All right. I think that it's going to be an incredible game. I do think that the winning formula is for you guys to come out hot, for Drake May to kind of prove that this run has been because of the rough defenses he's played.
Malcolm Trash.
Unfortunately, he's going against another top defense. That said, he's done exactly what he's needed to do. He's made the plays he's needed to, and he's dealt with some really, really awful weather. And I think that does matter a lot. I really do. I know. Stafford, the other quarterbacks played in it, and Stafford played in snow last year, did great, and played in those.
This
The
year
both
was awful.
quarterbacks in Chicago played. You said what?
He played in snow this year and was awful. Like Stafford,
Sure,
like he didn't score a touchdown that game.
it's true. I'm just saying that there are weather was definitely a factor. Is all I'm trying to say. So I think that it will be a lot cleaner of a game for Drake. That said, I have some what's more likelies. that I want to run through with you. And if we get a little off track from them, it doesn't matter. I'll bring us back with the next one whenever we get to it. So while we're on the topic of the quarterbacks, obviously you can make it the question who's going to play better, but I got almost a who's going to play worse question for you. Who's more likely to fumble, Sam or Drake?
Drake is more likely to fumble. I can't sit here and say it's Sam,
But Sam led the league in
but
turnovers this year.
he did lead the league in turnovers.
He had
I don't know how many of those were fumbles.
I think he fumbled it 20 times this year. I don't know how many he lost technically. I will get that for you right
Drake
now.
May has fumbled it 6 times in these last 3 games. I know he didn't do it in the Broncos game, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I
but
want
so
to
he had
say he's learned.
14 interceptions on the year. And he had I mean he fumbled last week, I know that. Like he fumbled in the championship game.
Yeah,
Uh,
he fumbled.
I don't know if they lost it. I don't think he lost it, but he was like on the stat
He
sheet.
didn't
There's a
lose it.
fumble.
Yeah, so he didn't lose it because the Seahawks didn't turn the ball over. I
I
know that
can't quite
much,
find
but
it. I do know that he's. I'm pretty sure it's like 9. It was the number because he ends up having like 25, or maybe it's 11. He has like this a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio when you count fumbles and interceptions,
yeah,
and he has
like
14 picks. So
I get what you're saying, and we're going back to the regular season for this stuff, which is we should because it's a huge sample
both
size for
matters.
that. It all matters, and Drake May wasn't a turnover machine, and he was scoring and being so efficient. These last whatever amount of games he hasn't been, I just can't. I can't say like I
11
hope it's
fumbles,
Darnold.
6 lost on the year.
I hope it's Darnold. I can't say it's gonna be. I can't say anybody but Drake May that like being like as biased and delusional as I am. I gotta have like some. I think it is gonna be Drake.
All
If
right,
anyone's gonna fumble,
I
or who would fumble more or has more of a problem, I think it's Drake.
think it's gonna be Sam. I think Sam might put it on the
I
ground,
hope
might throw the
so.
pick.
Lord, I hope
I
so.
think if I reword it to who's more likely to make or to
A
cause a
turnover,
turnover to have a
yeah.
turnover, we both go Sam. But I
I would say
wanted it to
Sam.
be
Yeah.
fumble because I wanted to hear your answer. Drake obviously has had a pretty fumble prone playoff run, so it only makes sense to say that. But it's also the same recency bias that leads you to say things like Sam Darnold's the better quarterback in this game. So
Yeah,
some things are just
it's
not
true.
true. All right, what's more likely, Henderson or Darnold to have 10 rushing yards on the game, 10 plus? It's more likely.
Okay. I'm okay. If you would have said more, going Darnold, but 10,
10
I think
plus.
I think Henderson would get to 10 before Darnold does.
I mean,
Just because like I don't know if this makes sense or not, but uh Sam Darnold's like mobile. He can get, he is a little athletic, but
I
I
know what
think
I'm asking. He
he's
only
gonna try
had
to
he
play
only
on
had 10
schedule.
plus 4 rushing. He only did it
Yeah.
4 times in the regular season.
Yeah. He's definitely like let's run the ball, let's keep the game on
He had
schedule. And I
9
feel like
rushing yards last week.
if he's running the ball, it's not on schedule. Like that's just what that is.
All right, so you're gonna take Henderson.
Henderson just might get 5 snaps in this game.
That's kind of why the question came.
Yeah. He might get -5 yards because that's his vision. It's that poor right now. I love him. I actually love him, and I hope for the future the best for him. But like genuinely, like I'm going like my. It's like watching Helen Keller in the backfield.
All
It's
right, all
so
right.
frustrating.
Let's stop hating on my boy. All
It's
right,
so
next one.
it's so frustrating.
Next one. What's more likely? The coin flip is heads or tails.
Mm. Tails
Uh,
never fails. It's
all
tails.
right, all right.
Let's see now. I'm betting that right now.
All
Five
right.
grand on tails
Another one that's a good one.
on deck.
What's more likely? Marcus Jones to have an
Marcus.
interception
Okay, sorry.
slash screw it. I'll just say it the other way around. Marcus Jones or Rashid Shaheed touchdown in this game.
Yeah, so touchdown Rashid Shaheed because he plays
No, it has
offense,
to be a
but
return. Has to be a return. He also
yeah,
hasn't scored a
returns him.
touchdown as a receiver yet, just for the record.
He has 3 catches in this postseason. I didn't want to get too nitty gritty in the
Ramondre
X's and
hasn't
O's,
scored
but
either, though. Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about my king like that.
I'm just throwing that out there.
What's the matter with you?
The original
Like,
question was
okay,
Ramondre or Shaheed, but I made it Marcus Jones
yeah,
because, thought it
the
was kind
special
of
teams
fun.
unit. So yeah, I do want to talk about that a little. I guess expand on it a
Yeah,
little
go
bit,
ahead,
but
man.
I think it's I think Rashid Shaheed is like an electric, but Marcus Jones is the greatest punt returner in NFL history. I'm that delusional. I don't care. He's they're both going to be, I think, low-key non-factors in this game because both special teams are elite. Like I don't really see either one getting even like a 20-yard return, whatever. When it comes to that, I think We're going to stuff the run against K9. We're gonna put Gonzo on Cooper Cup. And I know Coach Mangini had said this on First Things First, but it's also what I just thought because this is what we've done in every Super Bowl. And maybe I shouldn't put Belichick tendencies on Vrabel, but we're gonna put our best corner on your second best receiver, double your best receiver, stuff the run. Your third receiver is gonna have to beat us. Rashid Shaheed has 3 catches this postseason. Rashid Shaheed beats us. All glory to God. He can have it. It's their Super Bowl. It's just not gonna happen. Like Marcus
I
Jones is gonna lock that up.
I hope you're right, man. For your sake, I hope you're right. I think Rashid Shaheed could definitely beat Marcus Jones. I'm not saying he's going for 12 catches. I'm just saying one touchdown could be a decider. So,
It could be, but Marcus Jones is gonna have more returning yards this game. He's gonna clamp Rashid Shaheed and he's gonna pick him off because that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling dangerous.
all right, I've done my studying, and on this one, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going Marcus Jones as well. All right, next one. Ready? The Gatorade is purple or orange. What's more likely?
It's more likely to be. It's more likely to be orange, but it's gonna be lemon lime. I see it now. I see it now.
All right, all right. What's more likely?
Orange though for sure.
Bad Bunny has a good halftime show, or the game goes to overtime.
Bad Bunny has a good halftime show because I just don't think this game's gonna go to overtime. Either A, we're gonna boa constrictor them, or they're gonna put BTA. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm gonna
But
go overtime because I'm
I don't even.
expecting. I'm just
I've
kidding.
never listened to a Bad Bunny song in my life. I didn't even know what he looked like. I thought he was like 4 different people.
That's not true. We watched Bullet Train together. He's in that movie.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was in that movie. I thought he had like dreads. Like you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what Bad Bunny was for like a long time.
All right, you ready for
So
this next one?
yeah, I'm ready.
Who? What's more likely? JSN having. I don't know how to word that actually. Does JSN have more catches than the entire Pats receiving core? Just actually not receiving, just the receivers. Just the
Okay.
receivers. JSN or all the Pats
No,
receivers. Who has more receptions? There we go.
I'm gonna say no because I think Jason is gonna have like 8 catches, 80 yards. He's gonna have like a good game for a normal receiver, not a good game for JSN. Now, honestly, if he has more catches than the entire Patriots receiver unit, or even like whatever you want to say, like a fraction, a 1-to-1, we have 9 catches between our receivers, he has 7. We're losing that game. Like if JSN is catching that many balls, like in comparison to us, that means we're not extending drives. We're not having big plays. We're not moving the ball down the field, and they're at least moving it somewhat. Like we're losing the game if JSN has more receptions than our entire receiving core or receiving unit. Not not counting running backs and tight ends, but that would be a tragedy. That would hurt quite a bit.
I'm not gonna say I don't think it's possible because I think that, like we were talking about, I think scheme is gonna go into this, and I think that there is a world where they find a way to get the ball in his hands in situations where you can't necessarily control that, i.e., jet sweeps or wide receiver screens. So
Backfield.
I think that there are ways that this can be a JSN having more receptions than just your receivers because if you count the running backs and Hunter Henry and I don't think I think altogether obviously it's not the same, right? Like even if he has
Yeah.
13, I think Drake May has completed more than 13 passes is what I'm getting at here. So I'm going with you on this one, Pats receivers. But if we dumbed it down to yards, would
See,
you?
that's difficult
Yeah, all
because
right, that's a good
Diggs
one.
might have like
Should have
three
wrote that.
catches,
Should have
12
wrote that.
yards. Booty can have like, it honestly comes down to how well Booty can play against Witherspoon or Job, like in terms of like if he'll have more yards. Because I think Booty can have like a 120-yard game on these corners because he's more physical. But that it's zone cover. I don't know. I don't know. I love the way Booty attacks the ball though. I'm not gonna lie. Like when it's in zone, like I don't know if you were watching during the Texas game, but he'll high point that. He'll attack the ball. He'll come back to
That's
it.
how I
Like
feel
I
about
love that.
Puka.
I love
Sorry,
that. Yeah,
just a
Puka's
Puka lover. I
that's
had him in
Puka's
fantasy this year.
superpower.
You know how I am.
That's Puka's superpower. He's the best in the league at that.
Isn't that the truth? I have one more. What's more likely? That the game has more total touchdowns or the game has more sacks and turnovers combined?
Sacks and turnovers combined, because I think we're gonna
Ooh.
get. I think we're because like if you would have just said turnovers, I would have said touchdowns.
Well, yeah, I had to make it
But
nice.
sacks, I think we're gonna get Sam Darnold. Like especially watching that Rams game, the amount of times that they like just got up the gut with no resistance and took him down. I mean, when that's Barmore or Milton, it's gonna be 10 times more. No, it's not actually gonna be 10 times more. It's just gonna be effective, but also Drake May has been sacked 5 times a game. Like he's gonna get sacked 3 times. Like it's just what's
Yeah,
gonna
but if he
happen.
gets sacked 3 times, and Sam gets
Donald
sacked
gets
how many?
sacked twice.
So now we're
Let's
at
just say
5. How many
twice,
turnovers are in the
four,
game?
probably 2 turnovers. We're talking about fourth down, like turnover on
No, no, no,
downs.
no. That doesn't count. Just straight
Okay, that doesn't
turnovers.
count.
Fumbles
All
and
right. Well,
turnovers
we'll
on
say
downs
two.
don't count.
We'll say two for Sam Darnold because Drake
So we're
May's gonna
saying
play like
7
Mike Myers.
then, right?
Yeah,
7. So you're saying a
yeah.
possible 7, and I'm saying, and you're also saying between the two teams,
And
you
it's gonna
don't
be
think
like
that
a
there'll be 7 plus touchdowns.
24-17 game. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
gonna be like a 24-17 game. Is my thought with that, to be
I
honest.
thought it was
So
a
it's
good. I thought it was a
five
good question.
touchdowns.
That was a good
It is
question.
close because if Sam Darnold doesn't have those 2 turnovers and then they play like that means they're gonna play great offense. Yeah. Man, I'm just so nervous for
I'm
this game. I'm not gonna lie.
It's gonna be a great Super Bowl. At least I hope it's a great Super
I
Bowl.
think it is gonna be a great regardless. I do think so.
Hope for great football.
It's
I'm
it's gonna be a field goal game. I don't
you
know, 5 points.
you repped for my team when it matters most, so I'm not gonna be doing. I'm not gonna not do the same for you. That
Yeah.
said, I made a promise to you, so that's what this podcast was about. I think I'll close it up with this for myself. I'm a big believer in quarterbacks. I really am. They're the driving force of a team. Obviously, this is a team sport. You can't do it without the other positions on the field. I'm not denying that at all. But I just believe in the better quarterback in the big moments. And that's my closing statement.
Yeah, my closing statement is Drake May. This is all on you. This is your moment to go and attack and seize your legacy. You can be stamped forever. You'll never have to do another thing again in my lifetime as a Patriot quarterback, and you will be the second greatest quarterback of all time. Probably already are. Like, just go get it done. Like, I know we're young. I know we shouldn't be here, but there's no guarantee this will ever happen again. I didn't know if I'd ever gonna see another Super Bowl again in my life. I know people, as a Pats fan, think it's like, oh wow, the boy crying wolf over here, the rich kid with the problems or whatever. Like it's just I never know. I never knew if I was gonna see one again. Like genuinely, it could have. My franchise was awful before Robert Kraft and Brady Belichick. I didn't know what it was gonna be like after them. We need to go and seize this opportunity because there's no guarantee we'll ever be back here. I.e. Joe Burrow. I.e. Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like this could be it. So
It's
we
true.
gotta go get it done. We gotta go get it done.
All right. That's gonna conclude the Super Bowl episode. I mean, I'm hyped, man. It's been a great season. It's been a really weird season, and to be honest, this to me just proves how weird of a season it is. I gave you my little, my little explanation as to why on that one. I'm gonna save it right now. I'm not gonna say it. Point being, if you really, really think about it, a really weird year ending with Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl is weird enough as it is. I'm not trying to disrespect him. I'm not. I just think it's weird. You got Josh Allen, and you got Lamar Jackson, and you got
Baker,
Matt Stafford, and you got you can say
Chosen
Baker. You
Rosen.
got all right. Well, I actually didn't even
Better get in
mean
the
to
draft
be.
class.
I didn't even mean to do that, but I saw what you. Point being,
Yeah.
so many fantastic NFL quarterbacks. However you want to word it, Sam, you win this. Maybe you're in that conversation because God knows what I let one Super Bowl ring do for my Jalen Hurts rankings. It's been a weird year, but I'm
Drake May
excited to
wins. He's the
watch.
best quarterback in the NFL.
I'm
That's where
excited
I'm
to
at.
watch it conclude. So, go Birds as always, but
Go
this
Pats
time I
for
guess
real this
they're
time.
blue.
Everyone that's
Uh,
listening to this, lock in with me. Give me your energy. We need this,
Thank you for
please.
listening. Wings versus Rings on everything, and it's great to be back. It was nice to have a little week off. Off season, we'll figure out some type of schedule, but we got a lot to talk about. A lot of coaching hires to talk about, a
A
lot.
lot,
So
a
that'll
lot of trade
happen, and then
destinations,
yeah,
free
we'll talk
agency,
trades, we'll talk free agency, we'll talk a little draft,
draft,
but we'll work it out.
NBA,
But as
all
always,
that.
oh, of course, Tyrese Maxey will be
It's coming.
discussed. As always, Wings versus Rings, we out.